عارفين يا إخواني إنه هذا الطفل أنا أول مرة أشوفه صدفة مارق بين الخيام لمحته، وأول ما شفته مباشرة شغلت الكاميرا وقعدت أصور، مصدوم مش عارف أحكي. هو في ناس هيك؟ يا الله كيف. الله يعوضه يا رب في الدنيا قبل الآخرة يا رب، هو وأهله يا رب. الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله على كل النعم اللي احنا فيها، مش حاسين فيها ومش مدركين لحتى الآن إنه احنا أحسن من غيرنا، وإنه احنا في نعمة كبيرة، نعمة عظيمة جدا، وإنه احنا لازم نشكر ربنا كل يوم، نحمد الله كل يوم على النعم اللي احنا فيها. الحمد لله يا إخوان الحمد لله. أيقنت إنه الدنيا هذه ثانية ومش مستاهلة نهائي، وبقول ودائما بنقول الحمد لله أنها لا دارنا ولا ديارنا، وأن المستقر بجوار رب العالمين. الحمد لله.
Genocide. Noun. The systematic killing of substantial numbers of people on the basis of their ethnicity, religion, political beliefs, social status, or other particularities. Genocide. Verb. To commit genocide against, to eliminate, a group of people completely.
Gaza is a total disaster. If you can think of something bad that is happening in the world, it's happening in Gaza or to people from Gaza. The things that I saw there that really stood out or really impacted me and made me realize what's actually going on were a few. Number one was the malnutrition and starvation, which is deliberate. That's perfectly obvious. Even American senators are giving speeches saying that it's deliberate. The second thing was the targeting of children with gunfire. That I was not expecting to see. Actually, I knew how many children had been killed. I knew about the massive killing in general, but I just assumed it was all from bombings. But that doesn't explain children getting shot in the head. And definitely not every day. I mean, literally every day I was there, I saw a child shot in the head. That's not an accident. That's deliberate targeting of children for death. That's murder. That is not something that my government should be supporting. That the United States government should not be funding this. Benjamin Netanyahu famously said, if the Americans cut off arms, then we'll fight with our fingernails. Okay, good. You go do that. Go enjoy fighting with your fingernails. Leave my bombs and my guns and my money and my prestige and my government and my people out of it. That's what I would say.
I've seen a whole spectrum of injury patterns inflicted by Israel on Palestinian civilians in Gaza. The injury patterns I've seen most consistently are things like crush injuries as a result of Israeli airstrikes on homes. Between 60 to 70% of those injured and those who make it to the hospital are actually children. I can tell you that I have seen injuries that indicate deliberate targeting of children and deliberate targeting of civilians. So I've seen things like gunshot wounds to the abdomen of children, to the chest. I have documented evidence of gunshot wounds to the extremities of babies. Your priority is saving civilian lives and minimizing civilian casualties, then your responsibility as an American citizen is to advocate for an arms embargo against Israel. I think this is a no-brainer for the American political elite, whether you're a Democrat, whether you're a Republican, Green Party, Libertarian, it does not matter. The right thing to do is to stop arming Israel.
And what I think I found particularly disturbing was that a bomb would drop maybe on a crowded, tented area, and then the drones would come down and...
Please take your time. We're incredibly grateful that you're making the time to be here today. So we do appreciate the time that you're making.
So the drones would come down and pick off civilians, children. And we had description after description. This is not, an occasional thing. This was day after day after day, operating on children who would say, I was lying on the ground after a bomb had dropped, and this quadcopter came down and hovered over me and shot me. And that's clearly a deliberate act, and it was a persistent act, persistent targeting of civilians day after day. We had 1 or 2 mass casualty incidents every day.
I design and construct hardware that's used for execution purposes. I repair, redesign, and modify equipment that's presently in use. Specifically, I have designed and constructed electrocution hardware, electric chairs, gallows, lethal injection systems, and gas chambers.
Are you yourself capable of building a functional gas chamber?
Yes, indeed. It is necessary to wash the body. The residual cyanide on the individual's body, if handled with an ungloved hand and then placed in the proximity of one's mouth, one's eyes, or any orifice of the body, or if the glove leaked and the individual got some on his skin, there is a potential for death due to cyanide poisoning. American chambers all utilize one type, hydrogen cyanide gas, which is the same as allegedly used by the Germans and known as Zyklon B.
What temperature is needed for Zyklon B to become effective?
Zyklon B vaporizes or condenses, depending upon which direction one is looking, at 78 degrees Fahrenheit. That means that in order to utilize Zyklon B, we have to pump air that's been heated to an excess of 80 degrees through the actual Zyklon B carrier. In terms of evacuating the chamber, we need air which is at least 80 and perhaps 90 degrees being pumped through the chamber to prevent any condensation of the gas on the walls, floor, ceiling, chair, or the occupant of the chamber. Zyklon B.
What temperature is needed for Zyklon B to become effective?
Zyklon B vaporizes or condenses, depending upon which direction one is looking, at 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Zyklon B vaporizes or condenses, depending upon which direction one is looking, at 78 degrees Fahrenheit.
Zyklon B vaporizes or condenses, depending upon which direction one is looking, at 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Zyklon B vaporizes or condenses, depending upon which direction one is looking, at 78 degrees Fahrenheit.